Hey, you're right on time. Good to see you. Okay, all right, get the lights on here, because I like the... Anyway, good morning, or whenever you're seeing this, good day. I'm mycailinmohr, otherwise known as Colleen Callahan, and this is the Morning Thunder. First, before I get started again, because I totally messed up and the first time I did this didn't get it recorded. Hey. Before I get started with what I really want to talk about, I'm going to kind of segue into that subject by way of an explanation. When I say I need your help to feel like coming back here was a good idea, those words are not very carefully chosen and could easily be misunderstood. When I was in the lustrous vast during the NDE, I looked back at the world and I loved the world so much. Loved humanity with a love that folks don't understand hereabouts. Loved the maker of this world most of all. Now I came rushing back in here to help because I had seen how we're making it hell here and how we can do otherwise. And I really wanted to help in the suffering. Not just because I loved you all, but because, again, I love the Maker. And it's his world. And it's his project. And as an individual who likes to build worlds and take on such big projects myself, I really understood and I wanted to help him with his. So when I say I need your help, I don't mean with my feelings. I know how to sculpt my feelings. Sometimes I don't do it very well. I never claim to be a fully enlightened being. I'm mostly lucid, but sometimes not quite so much. I observe even when I'm not lucid that I'm not lucid, which causes me to become lucid again. So anyway, what I mean is I need you to be the kind of person for whom you would rush back into hell. Because, and I need that, you need that, we need that, the world needs that, the Maker needs that, we all need that. Right now. We need it right now because there are a lot of people walking around so deeply absorbed in their stories of grievance, of fear and hatred, of wanting retribution. They are just looking for reasons to justify vengeance. That's why all the crazy shooters and gun violence. People are just looking for one more thing to justify the discharge of unpleasant energy they're carrying around. That's a heavy-duty load they're carrying, and we need to help them diffuse that. And we can't help them diffuse that in our own states of unconsciousness. And we're unconscious even when we're telling ourselves beautiful, happy stories about what good beings we are and we're becoming, and even aspiring to higher goals and doing the best we can, as we all do. If we're judging those people and canceling those people, they get absolutely no opportunity because they get bubbled into their own feedback loops by surrounding themselves with others of like ideation. And if we don't model and extend lucidity and not judge them, but realize that they are deeply dreaming in their self-talk, in their inner banter, they are deeply asleep and not aware, not observing themselves, not conscious of themselves as they're presenting. And we need to forgive them from that position. Forgiveness is a beautiful concept that one could talk about at length many times and still not cover it all. But let's start with just that level of forgiveness. Forgiveness that realizes when the unpleasantness another person is going through is leaking out and adversely affecting your own wa, that you, as the lucid conscious person, need to realize that they're doing what they're doing out of being unconscious. They're not observing themselves. They're caught in their self-talk, and they're really unhappy already. Otherwise, one other brief note on forgiveness before I move on. Forgiveness is self-talk when you've been not observing certain self-talk, or maybe you have been observing it, but you've occasionally indulged in it anyway, like, some decadent dessert that's not good for you. When you've been allowing yourself to indulge in self-talk that stokes your own bitterness, your own grievances, your own victim status, your hard-by-doneness, you're not helping yourself, for one thing, because, and you'll know this is true, because when you forgive, you accept the way things are, and you observe that self-talk, and you observe it making you unhappy, and you observe it radiating out to make other people unhappy, and you observe it's not serving you. And then all of that energy that was being sucked out of your being so that the mind could run those loops of unhappy thoughts, that energy comes back to you, and you'll feel it. It makes the intensity of your presence and your ability to be clear and to wield your will and focus your attention, it makes it much stronger. And it unleashes vast stores of energy to get many things done you wouldn't have otherwise gotten done. So that aspect of forgiveness serves you highly, and everybody else too. So you have to accept the way things are, accept the way they've been, in order to claim any ability to change your future. So in the present, you accept the way things are in order to access your ability to change your future experience. You do that with lucidity. Again, if you have any questions about any of this, please ask me in the comments or write me at mycailinmohr at crackedpotpublications.com. Please like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I get an inspiration and post another one. At crackpotpublications.com you can find Rise in Lucidity and Master Anxiety. This covers the skills that I am pointing to every way I know how to. Not only that, I have been studying other spiritual helpers. Lately I've revisited Eckhart Tolle, who I just love. Such a wonderful soul, and I'm so grateful for him in the venue. We're pointing at the exact same message. It's very subtle, but it's vastly powerful. So Eckhart's work, The Power of Now, which I read many times and then listened to over and over and over again, Eckhart's work gave me a brilliant satori and a surrender that lasted a decade, from 2007 to 2017, when the Trump debacle began, and lying and cheating and fraud and abusing women became normalized. Not a big deal to a bunch of us, because that's a woman's lot in life, I guess. Anyway, so my surrender has been off and on, actually, since then, and my lucidity is getting brighter, but I'm still not entirely surrendered. So things flow a little bumpily instead of with the fluid ease they should, and I'm working on that, and I'll let you know how I do. Anyway, we're pointing at the same things. We're all pointing at the same lucidity, and we're trying to use words that are used in other mundane meanings, and so they're easily confused as to what exactly the individual helper means when they use them. So I encourage you to watch Eckhart Tolle and compare the way he presents this message to the way I present it. We have very few differences. I use a different model and metaphor, going from the truth is unity, everything else is just dreams we tunnel into with our attention. So the only question then is, how lucidly are you dreaming? Again, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe. This actually helps the message spread because YouTube shows the video to more people in their suggestions. And right now, it's urgent, and so I get a little urgent at times and a little despairing. I'm human too. It's urgent that we make this message move so that more people really make an effort to be their best selves, to be their most lucid selves, a self they would rush in to help. Make it a stellar day, people. It's within you to do so. It is your power. Bye for now. Out with your little ego eye.